In this video, we're going to be talking about how to retire by age 40. What are the things you need to do, the things you need to have, the things you need to measure in order to retire by 40. Watch the whole video. I have some very important information and really good tactics and strategies to help you get there. So I'm using 40 as an example, but really the earlier you can get out of that 9 to 5 grind, I think is a good age. In fact, I recommend that you start as early as possible, because by the time you reach age 40, what happens is that you probably married, you may have kids or thinking about getting kids, or your kids are, in school and stuff like that, and your expenses are a little high. You may be considering at that point buying a house, or maybe you've bought a house already and you're stuck with that. So the earlier you can start, the earlier, if you can get it started in passive income, building that portfolio of passive income and building the right habits, then the better it's going to be when you reach age 40. So again, I'm just using 40 as an example, which is probably the hardest age to get started, but still, it's a better age than starting at age 55 or 60 or 70. Speaking of age 55, 65, and 70, it's still not too late to get started. It might be a little bit difficult, but typically the people that are age 55 and older, they have a little bit more equity. They have equity in their houses, they have a lot of these big ticket items like the cars and all of that have been paid off. You don't typically have as much debt. So you are in a good position, but the question is to find their equity and put that equity to work so that you can have passive income. So this is very critical element. People often just simply look at their 401k in order to come up with the amount that they need to live and retire. But there's more to it than that. There's other equities or other sources of equity that you can use in order to get you to where you can enjoy your life and stop the 9 to 5 grind. So how to retire at age 40, and again, any age really, it doesn't matter. But the first thing is that you have to look at things that are under your control. So your expenses is something that is mainly under your control. So take a very hard look at these expenses. I'm not saying to live like a Spartan or one of those warriors that live on anything or be extremely frugal. I want you to enjoy life. This is why we are trying to achieve financial freedom, is to enjoy life. So I'm not asking you to live, in extreme frugality and all of that. So that's not what this is about. I want to have something that's realistic, but also that's not wasteful. So I don't know if you know Marie Kondo, who does kind of like the design, home design and decluttering of your house and all of that. What she explains really is really pick the items that are really bring you happiness. This is what you should focus on. A lot of people have a lot of stuff in their houses and all of that, and a lot of these items, they are just there because for whatever reason, but they don't really bring them any kind of joy or pleasure and stuff like that. And Marie Kondo basically says, just enjoy the items that don't bring you joy, just kind of discard them and clear your house. Decluttered house, in my opinion, is a decluttered mind. It helps you kind of think. So if you apply the Marie Kondo principle to your expenses, you should do basically the same thing. There are obviously essential items that you have to pay, but there are items in there that we're spending, like subscription, maybe it's cable TV, maybe it's some kind of cable package that you're using, maybe, I don't know what it is, but make sure that this is something, if you want to pay for this every month, or if you want to keep this particular item, make sure that it brings you joy and happiness. Otherwise, it's not really a good item, and you should get rid of it and get rid of that expense off your spreadsheet. Once you've done this little cleanup and this little decluttering of your expenses, just add all of that up. and then add a buffer, add like 10%. Again, I want you to live happy and have a good experience, because that's why we want to achieve financial freedom, is to have a good life. So add 10% buffer there. That should kind of like give you a little bit of leeway to do some other things. If you have any kind of social pension that you're expecting, so you can actually go on Social Security, SSA.gov, and then they're going to tell you kind of what you can expect at retirement from the government. If you have any kind of defined benefit pension plan or corporate pension plan that tells you exactly how much you're going to make based on your final salary and years of service and all of that, very few people have that nowadays, and most people don't even know what defined benefit is. That's just how old this is. But if you work for the government, if you work for a very large company, you may have a defined benefit or corporate pension plan. So take those two out, because these two items are going to be coming through, and they're going to help you pay these expenses. So you take your expenses plus the 10% buffer, and you take away the pension that you're going to receive, and what you're left with is a gap, basically telling you how much you need to come up in terms of passive income. So if your expenses are $5,000 a month, and then you get about $2,000 in pension of various sources, then you end up with about $3,000 gap or expenses that you have to figure out how to invest in order to generate $3,000 of passive income every month at least. How do you generate $3,000 of passive income? There are multiple ways to generate passive income, and I have another video that talks about that. Actually, I have a couple of videos that talk about the different methods. Some of them relate to the stock, some of them relate to annuities and all of that. But my very favorite method, and also the one that is the most productive, is turnkey single-family rentals. These are the best way to invest and scale up a portfolio of investment that are going to generate passive income for you. So these turnkey rentals, what I mean by turnkey rentals is a property that has been renovated, has been rented out. It comes with property management in place. Everything is set up. You basically buy the property, key in hand, and it's cash flowing from day one. The typical properties that we sell on our website, Martel Turnkey, is around $90,000, $100,000. To buy this property, you get a mortgage for 80% of the value, so you have to put $20,000 down and then you have some closing costs and all of that. But about $20,000 down to get that property. After you've paid all your expenses, your property management, your insurance, property taxes, and you deduct that from the rent, and you pay your mortgage, that mortgage for that property on top of that, you will be left with about $250 to $300 in cash flow, net cash flow per month. So everything has been paid. You're still getting money in the bank after that, about $250 to $300 a month. So remember, we want to have $3,000 a month in passive income. If one property makes about $300 a month, then I need 10 of those. If they make $250, then I need 12 of those. So if you look at that, like 10 to 12 properties, let's just go with 12 properties, and we need $20,000 per property, then I need about $240,000 in equity or in cash in order to buy that property, bridge that gap, that $3,000 gap, so I am financially free at that point. It's as simple as that. If you don't have all that money up front, I mean, we're working with multiple investors who don't have, $500,000 right away to invest in turnkey rentals. So what do? They save some money, they put it as a down payment on one property. Then when they have another $20,000, they give us a call. They say, hey, I want to have another property, and they keep going. Some of them buy one property a year, some buy 2 properties a year, and then we have some people that bought 10 properties in one particular year, and they're buying another 10 this year. This is how you go about it, how you achieve that financial freedom, and how you get to retire at 40. So thank you for watching the video. I hope you found it helpful, and I hope it enlightened you a little bit about kind of like how to approach this financial freedom and how to be able to retire at any age, really. It's not as difficult as people make it out to be. You don't need as much money as the Wall Street want you to believe. Look at the turnkey rental properties, the turnkey rental markets, and see for yourself that you can easily generate passive income to achieve financial freedom. If you like this video, make sure you click the thumbs up. If you're interested in real estate, investing, entrepreneurship, business, any kind of financial freedom, make sure you watch the rest of the videos on my channel. Remember to subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell so that you get notified whenever a new video is published. Thank you very much.